Okay, hey everybody. Today I'm going to give you my thoughts on Battle Creek Paintball in West Milford, New Jersey. Full disclosure, my team, Zombie Defense Force, ran a big game at Battle Creek in October of 2012, and in compensation for running this game, we were given a number of days of free entry with paint. I just want to make sure that's in the open so nobody thinks that's perhaps affecting my thoughts on the field. Now, in general, I'm very conflicted when it comes to my thoughts on Battle Creek and reviewing Battle Creek as a paintball field, not because of my team's relationship with the field, having run the game there and everything, but because while I generally have fun and I have a really good time up there, there are a number of problems that should be addressed and have to date not yet been addressed, and make it impossible for me to give a fully positive review of this field. But let me start from the beginning. I'll get there when I get there. Let me start where I always like to start, which is safety. So the first thing at Battle Creek, there's no safety briefing, which is not all that surprising. There are very few fields these days that still do safety briefings, which is amazing to me, but it's just the way it is. One thing going for Battle Creek, though, is they do check the chronograph. Every day the refs check all of the walk-on players, and then you get a little zip tie around your macro or something to indicate that you've been checked and you're good. And that's something a lot of fields don't have. If you go to some other places, then it's kind of more on the honor system. So it's really nice that they actually do check the chronograph there. The netting is pretty good all around. They've actually done some pretty significant work on it in the last year or 2 years to make the netting more secure, and in places they've done double netting. So the netting is really good where the fields run up against the staging area, and they get 2 thumbs up for that work. The refs are decent, but not great. They're for the most part on top of things as far as masks and barrel covers and things. As they are at most places, they're teens to 20s. Some are better than others, but for the most part they're good. They do their job without being sloppy or anything. You're not going to have any refs that are off, you know, taking a cigarette break while people are playing. The fields themselves started off a little bit rough. It's gone through 3 or 4 owners in the last decade. And the previous few iterations of this field didn't really do a whole lot as far as field upkeep. The present owners have actually done quite a bit of work as far as improving the field. There used to be a couple of fields that were so sparse as to be just barely usable, and those have since been built up quite a bit. They've also reworked and reopened a couple of fields that had previously not been used. And if you like speedball, they've set up a very nice speedball setup at the front of the staging area. In general, the fields are good, but not spectacular. Compared to what they used to be at this location 3 years ago, they're really, really nice. In addition to building up other fields, they've actually added a field or two where there previously was not a field. One field in particular is a small urban type of thing with a few buildings. It's not big, it's meant for very small games, maybe 5-on-5, but there wasn't even a field at that location previously that they're now utilizing, and they have one more place where people can play, so that's really nice. The price is about what you'd expect for a bring your own paint field. It's $35 for entry and air, bring your own paint, and there are different grades of paint available should you choose to buy at the field. This is on par with On Target Paintball down in Pemberton, New Jersey, which is bring your own paint on Sundays. It's cheaper than Top Gun Paintball in Jackson, which is a field paint only field. It's more expensive than Long Live Paintball or Cousins Paintball Staten Island. It's also more expensive than ABC Paintball, which is only a few miles away, which is another bring your own paint field. So it's right in the middle of the pack price-wise, maybe a little bit on the higher end, but that's expected because it's a bring your own paint field, so there's nothing outrageous about the price. So everything I've said so far, put that together in a box, and you get a field that's pretty good for the money. Decent quality, overall a good experience. Now I'm going to get into my problems with this place. And the first problem is something that I've kind of talked about before, and it's the home team beating up on the new players problem. There is a team that plays there about every weekend, and if given the chance, they will not hesitate to gang up on the newbies. This is a problem. I've been there with them on a number of occasions. One time there were about 40 players, there was about 8 of these guys on this one team, and a few other, maybe a handful, 5-ish experienced players, and then out of the 40 or so players there, maybe about 20 were renting, and then a whole bunch of the rest were fairly inexperienced, fairly young players. Now, these guys suggested, hey, let's play 8 on everyone else, which, given the makeup of the crowd, is just an invitation to get all of the new players shot to hell. okay? There have been times there where new players have left the field in tears because of these guys. And the problem is they're buddy-buddy with the refs, so you say something to the refs about, hey, that's not fair, everyone's going to get shut up, and the refs don't do anything about it because they're all, you know, it's all in the family, right? So this is a big problem, and this has been going on for a long time and shows no sign of changing. And when that's the case, I think the best course of action is to not play there. And I don't like that, because I would like to play at this place. I would like to say, go to Battle Creek, it's great, you're going to have a wonderful time. But I can't, because if you go on the same day that this home team is there, which is most days, they're going to shoot the crap out of everyone if given the chance. They will not break up and play, you know, 4 and 4 on each side. They will play their 8 guys plus a few more against 15 renters, if that's what the crowd is, and no one makes them do otherwise. So that's a problem, and the fact that they're not addressing it tells me that they don't have any interest in addressing it, and in the long term that's going to cause customer base problems, because you're ultimately not going to bring in any new players if you get the reputation of don't go there, you're going to get all shot up when you go and play. So that's a big problem for me, and it's why in the grand scheme of things, if I get a chance, unless I know a bunch of people that are going there on a given day, I'm going to go somewhere else. On Target, along with Paintball, Cousins Paintball, I'm going to go somewhere else, because frankly, I know I'm not going to have to deal with that kind of bull crap. And at Battle Creek, I can be reasonably certain that I am. Those are my thoughts on Battle Creek Paintball. To summarize briefly, the price is right in the middle of the pack. The fields are pretty nice, and they continue to improve the actual fields. It's a pretty safe place to play, but with the way the field works in relation to one of their home teams, it's just a problem, and I don't like it. So if anyone else has any thoughts, feel free to share them. Thanks for watching. See you next time.